Hey guys, wanted to give you a quick update. What's been going on? I haven't been posting much lately. I've been doing the work, Brother Rob Wilson. I'm posting this to Win Now Fitness. Remember what that acronym stands for. What's important now? No opportunity wasted. You can start small and win big even now. Today is day 494 of my fitness journey that has taken me from 250 pounds down to 158, from 40+% body fat to 14% body fat. And in 494 days, I have meticulously tracked every mile, every step, every rep, every day. And I've got this all documented. I have traveled. This is the big one here. I've done a lot of things, and you can too. If you start now and take small steps. 1,878 miles, 0.12 miles. 1,878.12 miles. Well, the reason why I'm broadcasting today is I'm 4 days out from hernia surgery, umbilical hernia surgery, and a thing called diastasis repair. And I've had to do a bunch of pre-physicals. I had to do an EKG. I've just been going through all the things to prep for this surgery. It's not only prepping for the surgery, I've also had to prep my house and today I'm going to be doing some heavy lifting and yard work and trimming shrubs down to the ground so I don't have to do them again for quite a while. It's going to take me out. And I've had 3 other surgeries in the past year. I had Mohs surgery for basal cell carcinoma, which is skin cancer on my face right here. Kind of can't really tell anymore. I think the scar is going away. 2 cataract surgeries. These are kind of routine procedures, and hernia surgery is pretty routine too. Umbilical hernia repair is pretty routine, but the diastasis repair, or the diastasis recti repair, is a little less frequent, and that's what's got me kind of bothered, because what they do is they go in and they they fix the hole in your umbilical area, and they put a mesh there, so it's going to be stronger there after that's repaired. But with I got this written down. Diastasis recti what it is a separation in your abdominal wall. And if you see somebody who has abs, they have a line down the middle, and that's basically where the abs separate. Well, a lot of times women during pregnancy, they get so big that it actually spreads and tears the abdominal muscles spread, and there's a separation there. Or when you gain weight like I did, so there's a separation there. The way I didn't even know what it was for a minute, and I would do just to set up. At the time I had put on the weight, just when I would get up, there's like a bulge that was like 2 inches wide, straight down the middle where that line would be. And what it is, the abs have separated, so there's nothing holding in your insides there either. So it's actually can lead to an actual hernia if that doesn't get repaired. And what they do is they put a hook in one side and a hook in the other side, and they essentially and they suture it and tighten it up, so you don't. And then you have to be extremely careful, but they move your abdominal muscles back in position. And it is not cosmetic. It is, because I even said, hey, look, I'm not, this stuff is showing now, but I don't care about the cosmetic. And the surgeon assured me this can cause another hernia. So I'm 4 days out from that. I'm having that on Thursday, August 20th. And I've been prepping, and with my fitness, losing 92 pounds, going from 40% body fat to 14% body fat, almost feeling like it's amazing. It has given me a new lease on life. It's given me a lease on life, not just in the physical compartment, it's changed my mind. Most of the things I think that I share is not about what to do to get fit. It's about the mindset it takes to get fit. And the win now philosophy, I call it a win now philosophy, is you could be in a bad place physically, and it also transfers over to financially, mentally, emotionally. And the way you get out of it physically is the same way that you regain, the way you redeem those other areas. And it's steps. It's small, incremental steps. It's not every step. You're not climbing a mountain. And, you know, my first steps were committing to, because you got to commit and you got to have consistency. 4 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, I'm going to get out, I'm going to walk. That's the foundation of my philosophy, my win now philosophy. And that's what year number one was laying a foundation and installing the discipline. And I laid the foundation of the steps, and I talk about stacking steps. So in order to begin to reclaim your fitness, you have to first say, what is a win? For you, it could be biking, which is kind of a difficult one, but it could be walking like I did, or it could be rowing, or it could be a cross trainer, elliptical, which is cross trainer, elliptical is the same thing. You could be getting on that machine and doing 15 minutes a day, 4 days a week. You know, that's the what. And then when, and I recommend 4 days a week, 4 day a week winning protocol. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, when you tip the scale from decline to what I call recapacitation, you know, getting your fitness back, getting your life back. If you tip 4 out of 7 days, you're no longer losing. You're starting to win. So I committed to the 4 days a week for a few months, and then I said, I'm going to throw in a 5th day a week. And then I said, I'm going to throw in a 6th day. And now I go 7 days a week. Every day. In a month, I typically will have 1 or 2 days off, but I've went months without taking any days off. So it's not like, oh, I don't ever get rest, but my baseline is now normally 4 miles a day. And when I first started doing the daily stuff, I said, okay, I'm going to do a baseline of 3 miles every day. Now my baseline is 4 miles a day. Now typically I do 6 or 7 miles a day, every day. And it's not hard. I get up at 3:30 or 4 o'clock in the morning. That's where people are like, how you come talking about? I make the sacrifice to get up and about 2 hours before I have to get ready to go to work. And this was a section of time where when I was physically unfit, I did not have the capacity to get up. I was having a hard time waking up for work. But to get back to my surgery, there has been a mental game that gets played when you have this is a seriously invasive surgery. There are things to be concerned about. You know, I've seen people go in for surgeries that were, I'm almost 60 years old. I've seen a lot. People have gone into the hospital for routine surgeries and they didn't come out. I'm not even talking about really obese people or unhealthy people. I'm talking about a routine. There is no real routine surgery. You know, even my cataract surgery, I've seen people go to cataract surgery and come back blind. Honestly, I've seen it done in both eyes simultaneously, and a man, my uncle was blinded. He was legally blind for the rest of his life. So when I got ready to do any one of these things, I was concerned, but this is the most concern because it takes the most amount of time to recover from. I'm going to be off work for a month. There's going to be, according to what I'm hearing, days where you're not doing, you don't have any, for 3 to 5 days. The pain is going to be really intense. So I have to take a protocol of 4 hours, Tylenol extra strength, 4 hours later, ibuprofen extra strength, and cycle ibuprofen and acetaminophen, I think it's called acetaminophen, every 4 hours. and I have an opioid, massive painkiller to help me out if it gets really intense. So for 3 to 5 days, it's going to be really intense. And then after that, I'm going to be on a 10-pound weight restriction for a month. And then it goes up to 20 pounds for another month, or 60 days. It's going to be 60 days before I can lift more than 20 pounds. So that's 2 months. My point being is, I've made all this progress, and the thing that a lot of times makes somebody fall off their routine is maybe they fell off one day, maybe they ate wrong one day, and then they trash everything. Well, I'm not just gonna fall off my routine for a day. I'm gonna fall off what I've been doing and what's normal to me for 60 to 90 days before I could really get into the workout, the walking routine, which is low impact, but it's going to take me out of this routine for 60 to 90 days. So I'm preparing my mind to reset. And I know that my body, in a lot of ways, with 1,878 miles on it, it needs time. It needs some recovery time. It don't need, other than the surgery, it don't need 2 months. But I have had a shoulder impingement from doing push-ups, because I got in this thing where I was doing, like, I would do a mile and then I would do 100 push-ups, do another mile and do 100 push-ups. And it wasn't 100 straight push-ups. It would be like, I got up to where I could do 60 straight push-ups. But I would do a mile on the treadmill, do 60 push-ups, take a little break. I took a time break. I think it was 60 seconds. And then I would try to rip out the rest of the push-ups. But I was doing 100 push-ups for every mile, and I was talking about doing this with the 4 to 5 miles. So I was doing 400 to 500 push-ups, not every day, but on 1 day a week. I was saying, this is my max out day. Shoulder impingement, I had to do rotator cuff exercises to rehab my shoulder. So my body's ready to take a break, but I've got to get it set in my mind. It's not whether, I know the body can do things that boggle your mind. Before this journey, I didn't think it was possible. That was a problem. That was the problem, and that is a problem. Now, I love the Bible verse that says, with God, all things are possible. And I want to share that with you. Like I said, I don't know. I'm getting ready to do the yard work today. I don't know if I'm going to suffer a massive coronary today, and this is my last day. But there is no way I'm living the last chapter of my life sitting. There's no way I'm living the last chapter of my life surrendering to death long before I die. And I don't want you to do that either. I wanted my story, and I'm just so grateful, and I appreciate so many people who said, man, I started walking, I've lost 10 pounds, it wouldn't be as, it wouldn't mean as much if I wasn't taking you with me and trying to inspire others to do it. So when you do give me feedback and says, oh, I've done this and I've done that and I've lost weight and I've lost that, man, that is my fuel to continue to share this story, because I love the verse in the Bible that says, for God, it wasn't in the context of physical health, but it's still true in every arena that we need to face a challenge. For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but a spirit of power and of love and a sound mind. And the biggest thing when you start is the fear that you can't do it, or the fear that you're going to quit. Well, the quitting it's all up to you, man. I quit every day until the next day. I'm going to quit today, probably 7, 8 o'clock. I'm doing more miles. I've already done 6 miles today. I've already ran errands. I've already prepped food. I'm doing more miles today. I'm doing more yard work today. I'm doing more steps today. And I'm gonna quit sometime today when I close my eyes and say my prayers, and I'm gonna have put the work in to sleep really sound for 5 or 6 hours. I'm gonna get back up and I'm gonna do more miles. But anyway, it's fear. It's fear. And if you trust the process, because God designed the process, God designed the body, and it's calories in, calories out. And if you start stacking the steps, get back to how God designed. God did not design us to live. I'm sitting here in my truck. I could literally walk around the corner and be in my house. I can pull up further and literally have a 10-foot walk to get into my house. It's a real short trip to my mailbox. I can get in here and drive. Everything's comfort, everything's convenience. Modern civilization and culture has designed fitness and health out of the equation, and we have to take it back. We have to do hard things. God didn't give us a spirit of fear. You can do it. But He gave us a spirit of power. That's capacity. That's agency. That's the ability to take action. You know, when you go to a healthcare agency, or you go to a financial agency or financial institute, that means you're going there to get help. Personal agency means you are your help. You're taking responsibility for your health care. You're saying, I can do this. You're saying this will work. If I tried 100 different ways and it doesn't work, I'm gonna keep finding, keep twisting, not give up till this works. He's given us a spirit of power. That's personal agency to take action for our own best interests. Power, love. You have to hate yourself to not take care of yourself. You have to despise yourself. I've lived life at times where I did more for other people than I did for myself. And I wasn't as able to do for others after a long period of time, because I'm not taking care of myself, because I'm not eating right, because I'm not exercising, because I'm not even thinking right. I'm more able to do for others now than I was before when I did more for others. I'm more able to do for them because of what I poured into me, because of what I've decided to do for me. He's given us a spirit of power, of love, and a sound mind. You have to be out of your mind to not take your life back, to not take the steps. So I'm going to conclude this real quick because this went longer than I thought. I'm getting it in my mind that in this time, I'm going to hone my process. I'm going to come up with my routine and my implementation to go from so much endurance and endurance training to more strength training. I got my blood work done. My cholesterol's good. Triglycerides good. A1C good. Nowhere near borderline diabetes, where I was a year ago. And I just went and got lab work done to get my testosterone checked, and it proved right. My testosterone is at about 80%. I think the range is 150 to 1100. I'm at 705 for total testosterone, and my free testosterone is like 80. And I think the range on that is something like, I think normal is like 30 would be the low level of normal, up to 150, and I'm at 80. So I'm good in a good 80% range, and that's your usable testosterone. That's what you have free to produce the energy, the strength, the vitality, the mood. That free testosterone is what you use on a daily basis. At any rate, my point being, switching over to more strength training, and I'm gonna get that program down, because I have been weight training I've been doing push-ups. I've been doing back exercises. I'm gonna get that nailed down, and so I'm gonna come back, and I'm aiming out, and I'm not aiming for reaching a goal. This is all about discipline. I'm aiming next year, next summer, God willing, good recovery, get down to about 10% body fat, and yeah. So, but the problem is, and the challenge is, I'm going back and starting from. It's going to be like starting from zero. Although I don't have the weight to get rid of, the recovery process from the surgery is gonna feel like a setback. But I'm already processing, because it's all mind. It's all mind over everything. Is I'm gonna use this setback as a setup to get my program refined, to get my mind in order, to let a lot of parts of my body, besides this abdominal thing, they need recuperated. You know, I'm gonna get my finances. You know, my finances have come along just like my fitness, because I've applied the same disciplines and techniques to my finances. But I'm gonna apply these same disciplines to my YouTube channel. I'm gonna get a regular upload schedule. I'm gonna have the same Monday, Wednesday, Friday mentality that I put into fitness. I'm gonna put it into the YouTube channel, so there will be a regular upload that I can meet, because I've designed the steps to meet. I know I gotta upload at least once a week to all my. I've got 4 channels, so I know I gotta upload at least once a week to all of them. One upload a week. How do I do that? I'm gonna have to come up with the ideas. I'm gonna do all that while I'm in the total recovery mode. So I just want to thank you, ask you for prayers. Put a comment down if you've gone through what do you call it? Diastasis Recti repair, and how it went. I know it's gonna be like going back to zero, but I'm not gonna gain 100 pounds back. So I'm not going to lose everything, but I've got the same way I had to start with those little steps back 494 days ago. I'm going to start with little steps, and the way I come back, I'm going to blow away where I'm at now. That's God willing, and I believe if I implement that, the things I want to with the weight training, and that I'm going to go back in a year, next August, have my testosterone checked, and it'll be higher. All right, until next time, I hope the audio held up. Grace and peace in Jesus' name. It's time to win again. Amen.